Coming up on Night Chat, it's the season for gators to get cozy. Reporter Kelsey Walker explores gator mating season at Gatorland.
Students living in a peanut butter palace are showing us different ways to live sustainably.
And A Night in Orlando shows us how to have fun putting the work in workout. You're watching Night Chat, covering the university community and the greater Orlando area.
Night Chat starts now.
Good afternoon and welcome to Night Chat. I'm Nicole Bosco.
And I'm Jessica Gottsleben. Today is Friday, April 17th. You know, I'm from South Florida, so I pretty much live in the Everglades, and my parents always told me, don't play with the gators on the dock.
You know, that's crazy. I would never get near those gators. But for those of you Knights that do like to spend the weekend on the lake, listen up. It's alligator mating season, and reporter Kelsey Walker found out what you should be on the lookout for to stay safe out on the water.
For millions of years, the springtime has meant something very different for gators. It's mating season, and the result is little babies like Izzy here.
Tim Williams is the Dean of Wrestling here at Gatorland in Orlando. Right now, Williams says alligators are in the process of courting each other, just like these lovebirds.
It's something to see. They get very romantic. They rub noses and bump each other's faces. One will put their nose under another one's chin and blow bubbles and rub each other's backs.
Alligator mating season is going on now through May. Williams says the females will make a nest near the water and lay their eggs sometime in July. If you come across the nest, Williams says get away from it.
They make a little chirpy sound. It calls their mom. The mom comes over. She doesn't play around.
This guy is one of only 15 leucistic alligators in the world. Gatorland is home to 4 of these. The park says they are using artificial insemination to help breed the rare gators. This guy was even nice enough to let Nightly News get up close. Gatorland says during mating season, alligators are a bit more temperamental. Williams says if you come across a gator on the lake, simply stay away from it.
And if it doesn't act afraid, if it starts coming over, it's either a gator that's got a nest, or you're in its territory, or it's a gator that's been fed, and get out of the water.
Gatorland says a female will lay around 25 to 40 eggs, and like birds, will protect their nest. However, Williams says only about 3 or 4 of the eggs laid will actually hatch and make it to adulthood.
It's hard to believe that a little baby like Izzy here, who's only a year old, will grow up to be just like one of the big guys. In Orlando, trying not to get eaten, Kelsey Walker, UCF Nightly News.
If you like to go out on Lake Claire here on campus, keep an eye out. One Lake Claire employee says a few alligators have been removed from the lake.
After 11 years, a corpse plant at the Rollins College greenhouse is set to bloom. The corpse plant is named for its smell, which is similar to rotting flesh. Despite the stink, it's one of the largest single-stemmed flowering plants in the world, and its 36-hour blooming cycle happens only once every 10 to 12 years.
I'm very excited. I mean, I guess I should consider this like my child. You know, I got this 11 years ago knowing that, or hoping it would create a lot of attention. And that's exactly what it's doing.
The greenhouse is open to the public on weekdays between 8 a.m. and 3 p.m. When the plant blooms, additional times will be made available, or you can check out the greenhouse cam to watch the plant in real time on rollins.edu/greenhouse. Earth Day is next Wednesday, and this year's theme touches on living sustainably. So reporter Lila El-Touni found out how Orlando's Peanut Butter Palace is trying to accomplish this on a local scale. Before you peanut butter lovers get too excited, it's not what you think.
The Peanut Butter Palace is a house in East Orlando where students live and work together in harmony with the earth. The 7 people who live in this co-op strive to create a sustainable lifestyle. McKinley Workman runs the house and says the goal is to set an example for a new standard of living.
Living in a way that doesn't take away from the earth, but rather fosters it and encourages it.
She started this project a year and a half ago. Residents pool their money and grow their own food, and almost everything here is edible, even the weeds.
I love it when people come and are like curious and they're like, what? Why are you eating that weed? And it's like, oh, it's edible. Oh, it's a medicinal. You can use it for this. And they're like, what?
Here at the Peanut Butter Palace, finding your next meal is as simple as coming out into the garden and picking it.
This garden is filled with organic fruits and vegetables. Methods such as permaculture and composting help the land flourish.
It's an ecological design process to making a very diverse and sustainable garden.
Matt Sosa lives here and explained a little bit about the logic behind permaculture.
In which you take natural systems, which are by their nature chaotic, but you put them in a way where they work together in a sense.
Getting involved is easier than you might think. You can join in on what residents here call Project Sunday.
We come out and it could be weeding, it could be helping build deck, it could be working on some other project.
But Workman urges visitors to remember the bigger picture behind all of this work.
So it's about fostering and taking care of the planet that ultimately takes care of us.
I have Lila El-Toumi here to tell us a little bit more about it. So Lila, how was your day at the Peanut Butter Palace?
Actually, it was really interesting. It was cool because she gave me a tour of the whole area, and their whole backyard is filled with just spinach and different things that I can't even pronounce. But it was a beautiful day out, and I loved it. But you can actually stop by any day. You just send them a message, and today might not be the best day because it's a little overcast. It's definitely a Florida day out there. You know, we wake up and it's overcast, but somehow still hot. We're sitting at about 80 degrees, but that 67% humidity is making it muggy. It's likely we'll see another midday rainstorm as the chance of rain is 60%, but luckily it shouldn't be a violent storm today with the winds at 6 miles an hour. And a little later on, I'll tell you if the weather on Earth Day will be sunny enough to step outside and enjoy the day.
Coming up next, a night in Orlando explores fun activities to take your workout to the next level.
You won't want to miss this.
UCF's Fashion Club hosted its first Fashion Week this week. One of their events was a fashion show that highlighted some spring trends. This past Wednesday, UCF students were brought a night on the runway in the Pegasus Ballroom. Local sponsors donated clothing to be worn by the models who strutted down the runway. And gently used clothing was collected from attendees at the door to support the Fashion Club's charity, Nitro's Closet. Tourists are flocking to Orlando now more than ever. Visit Orlando reported that Central Florida is the top tourist destination in the country. Last year, 62 million people came to the City Beautiful. This is the first time a U.S. city has ever had this many visitors. New York City came in second. In 2013, Orlando also brought in the most visitors nationwide at 59 million people. Governor Rick Scott hopes to have 100 million visitors to the state this year.
And if you're looking for places in Florida to visit, a night in Orlando brings you more things to do, see, and enjoy around town. And the summer heat is here, but is your summer body? Nightly News reporter Bree McNaught explores some fun ways around UCF that can help you get that bikini body for free.
If you're looking to add a little splash to your workout, you can come here to UCF's Lake Claire, where students can rent paddle boards and kayaks and canoes and spend a day on the water. Lake Claire offers a great shoulder workout with their free rentals. You can even try to do some yoga on the water. Clearly, I still need some work. Lake Claire is open throughout the week from 12 p.m. to 8 p.m. and on the weekends from 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. So if you're tired of running in place, then you should come here to UCF's Arboretum, where you're still going to break the same sweat, but you get to see some cool nature while you're at it. UCF has some great nature trails that can make that mundane run turn into fun. Located on the east side of campus, there is 82 acres of nature and trails. Anyone can take a hike on these trails, but just make sure you don't twist your ankle on those rocks and branches. So if the heat is too much for you, you can come and take it indoors at the UCF Rec and Wellness Center, where they have this giant rock tower that students can come and climb for free. And trust me, it's a good workout. On the 42-foot tower, there's different levels of difficulty that will work your whole body. Strategically working your way up the quickest way possible is a lot trickier than it looks. The rock tower is open from 3 p.m. to 10 p.m. Monday through Thursday and is free for UCF students. Now you have no excuses, so get out there and get fit. In Orlando, Bree McNaught, UCF Nightly News.
You know, those really seem like some fun activities. You know, I've been on the rock wall. It's one of my favorite things to do, but I'm thinking next time I want to go kayaking.
I've been rock climbing before. I used to do it in middle school. Absolutely loved it. I go kayaking as often as I can. I've never been paddleboarding. Definitely need to try it.
If you go paddleboarding, make sure you don't fall in the water.
Yeah, especially with it being gator mating season.
Get the workout on swimming away from the gators. Well, that's what's going on around UCF, but coming up next year, Bradley brings us the news from around the nation.
And I caught up with a few Orlando City Lions who are making headlines.
Don't go away. UCF's Relay Spirit Week on campus. The annual relay event begins tomorrow at 2 p.m. on Memory Mall. You can stop by and donate all day since teams will be out there past 8 a.m. Sunday. This year, the UCF teams have already raised over $45,000 in the fight against cancer.
What's your UCF story? One Instagram photo challenge is allowing students to reflect on their favorite UCF memories as the semester comes to a close. The Alumni Center has challenged Knights to post a picture coordinating with a daily hashtag through May 7th. Hashtags highlight students' favorite hangout spots, professors, and snapshots with Nitro. Today's photo challenge is to post a picture of your favorite tailgate.
And what's under your armor? If you're going to be around campus later this afternoon, look out for Knights in their undies. Sigma Nu Fraternity's annual Undie Classic is today at 4 p.m. starting at Lake Claire. UCF students will run 1.5 miles through our campus wearing just their undies. Participants donate clothing to benefit Goodwill Industries. And Sigma Nu says their event will go on, rain or shine, so prepare to get wet. Well, that's what's happening around UCF, but now De'Ara Bradley's here to tell us what's going on around the nation.
Yes. Yes, growing up, your favorite childhood drink may have been chocolate milk, and the popular food company Nestle is changing the way they make their flavored syrup. On Monday, Nestle announced they will be cutting the amount of sugar used to sweeten the syrup and bottled beverages. The flavors have a sugar reduction of up to 27%. This action is in response to the child obesity issue and to challenge kids to stay healthy. The updated Nestle products will hit stores later this month. How old is the pilot flying you to your summer vacation destination? One California man just entered the Guinness World Record as the world's oldest pilot. Peter Weber Jr. is a 95-year-old man from Sacramento. He entered the record book this past Tuesday as the oldest qualified pilot still licensed and flying solo. Weber is an Air Force veteran and has been a pilot for 72 years. This was also a big week for the fashion world. International model Gisele Bündchen strutted down the runway for the last time. This past Wednesday, the 34-year-old Brazilian icon walked her final show during São Paulo Fashion Week. She announces her retirement after 20 years in the industry. In 2014, she was featured in Forbes magazine as the highest paid model, but Bündchen is not leaving the fashion industry completely, as she is still continuing to develop her lingerie line. Back to you, Nicole and Jessica.
You know, Jessica, I'm a huge soccer fan.
I don't think I ever would have guessed that. I swear she spends more time out on the soccer field when she's not specifically in the newsroom working on stuff for our web stories.
It's true, and we're a little over a month into the Major League Soccer season. Our Orlando City Lions are currently ranked 3rd in the Eastern Conference with a record of 2 straight across the board. I just can't seem to get enough of going out to the team's training, catching up with Coach Heath and the players. Check it out.
Meet Kyle Larin, the youngest player in MLS history to score a goal at 19, and Kevin Molino, the Trinidadian superstar who assisted that goal.
Come in the morning, get ready for training, get my body ready. I come out and work hard, and I think it's important to come out and work hard because it'll relate to go on to the game, and that's really end. I have to go in there, do some lifting, which is hard, and then I'm with this guy the rest of the day.
For me, wake up in the morning, say my prayers. Before training, I play a little bit of FIFA, just to get accustomed to the game and get in that mindset. Before training, I play some and just come to training and maybe do a little lifting and talk to Kyle, Donovan Ricketts in the locker room, joke around and prepare for training.
I think it was just when I was younger, I always had a ball in my hand and just watching the game on TV and the atmosphere of the game. And I just love playing on the grass and the field and just the momentum of the game and scoring. Scoring really gets me going. So.
For me, I grew up in a family that loves sports. Then after I moved from Arima to Carenage, and I had a personal coach that coached me. Unfortunately, he passed away, and he taught me everything. And every Sunday on the training park by myself to try to achieve something, and I'm happy now. I fall in love with the game.
Well, they definitely defy my expectations, and I can't wait to see how the team progresses throughout the season. It's even Kyle's 20th birthday today, Jessica. Happy birthday, Kyle. Now let's check in with Lila to see if the weather will allow some soccer this weekend.
Lila, do you want to go play some soccer after the show?
Oh yeah, guys, I played soccer my whole life, and actually playing in the rain can be really fun. It's when you practice slide tackling and diving, so if you're into that, then you have a good weekend coming up. But right now, it's about 81 degrees you can see here in Orlando. Not too much going on. It's starting to get that overcast midday going around. Down in Miami, it's 83 degrees, and up in Tampa, 85, which is usually kind of reversed. Tampa's usually a little cooler than Miami, but Up in Tallahassee and Jacksonville, they're following the status quo, a little cooler than everyone, 75, both cities. But one thing that every city here in Florida has in common is rain. And in fact, when we look at the national precipitation map, we'll see that that rain is continuing all up the East Coast, up in New England, New York area, and all through the Carolina, and in Florida, lots of rain. But when we do go out to California on the other side of the country, they're still feeling the effects of that drought. It's actually one of the worst in the last century for them. But down here in Florida, it's not going anywhere for us. So if we look at our state map, we'll see that the rain is pretty much continuing all throughout the state. Here in Orlando, 60% chance of rain. Up in the Panhandle and sort of towards New Orleans and stuff, lots of rain going down by the Gulf, but should be okay. We kind of know the pattern. You know, it's hot in the morning, muggy in the afternoon, like 90 degrees, but we can recognize the cloud coverage actually and see that at the 2 p.m. map, we'll see that the cloud coverage shows that it's about 80% all up in the air. So we can actually kind of recognize when those clouds start rolling in that the rain's coming. You know, walking to and from class, we'll see hear the thunder, see the clouds. I actually got stuck yesterday, but at the 5 p.m. map, we can see that it's starting to move away towards the east, and that shows kind of the pattern that as the night clears out, you know, there's not as much rain, so you can relax during the morning, have some good time out at night. But you'll see that this trend is starting to continue through the 5-day map, and see that on Saturday it's going to be 87 degrees, low of 70, 50% chance of rain through the week up until Wednesday. That's our light at the end of the tunnel, 20% chance of rain. Also Earth Day, so go out and enjoy the day. But the good news about that 50% rain is that it's really only that midday rain that we're looking at. As soon as it starts getting 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, we see that it's about 20 or 30% chance of rain. So should be a decent weekend. Enjoy the morning. I won't tell anybody. Go out at night. Have a good weekend, guys. What about you, Jessica and Nicole?
Thanks, Lila. After the break, Vanessa Rodriguez will explore the magical wizarding sport of Quidditch.
Stay with us.
What's up, Knight fans? I'm Vanessa Rodriguez, and this is your UCF Sports Update. It's that time again, football fans. The UCF Knights are back on the field tomorrow for the annual spring game. Last year, the Knights ended their season as conference champions with an overall 9-4 record. But unfortunately, they fell short to the North Carolina State Wolfpack at the St. Petersburg Bowl. This year, the new season brings with it 17 new Knights, and kickoff is at 2 p.m. at Bright House Stadium. And earlier this week, the Pegasus Winter Guard headed to the WGI World Championships in Dayton, Ohio. Two teams with two different shows make up the Winter Guard, Pegasus Open and Pegasus World. Both have made it to semifinals and are scheduled to perform later this afternoon. If they make it past semis, finals are tomorrow at the University of Dayton Arena. Are you ready, soccer fans? The Player Prowl is highlighting an Orlando City soccer player this week. Meet Aurelian Collin, a starting defender for the Lions. Collin gave Night Chat the inside scoop on how he got his start playing soccer.
Playing like in club, the first time I was 4, I remember like my father like got a fake ID, like soccer ID, to change my age from 5 to 4.
And Collin even has 2 clothing stores in Kansas City. Will his fashion make it to Orlando?
I don't know what's. I want to, you know, it's in the other side of my head, but I don't know what's gonna happen.
Stay tuned for another segment of the Player Prowl next week. And you can catch Collin in action as the Lions face the Columbus Crew Soccer Club away tomorrow. Kickoff will be at 7:30 p.m. and you can watch the game live on My 65 on Sun Sports. From soccer balls to brooms? Well, you may remember the wizarding sport of Quidditch from the Harry Potter series. But did you know UCF has its very own Quidditch team? And joining us right now, the current captain, Josh Brown. Josh, thank you for joining us at the show today. Now, I know, I'm a huge Harry Potter fan. I have all the 7 books. I've seen the 7 movies. But I know you guys aren't flying around in brooms out there. So how do you do it? How do you play this game?
Okay. So we do actually use brooms, but we typically use PVC. They're about 40 inches long, but they do add a degree of difficulty to playing the sport. You do have to play like one-handed, at least until you can learn to run without touching the broom. So we normally use dodgeballs for the bludgers, and we use volleyballs for the quaffle. And the snitch is actually quite special as well. The snitch is actually a tennis ball inside of a sock, and it attaches via Velcro, kind of like flag football. But you have a snitch runner who actually has it attached to their pants as well. And so that's how you go about trying to catch the snitch.
Josh, and how long have you been playing?
So I've been playing for 3 years now. I started in 2012. That was actually the beginning of the UCF team.
Perfect. Thank you so much for being with us today, Josh. I really appreciate it. Everybody, thank you for... Back to you, Nicole and Jessica. Thanks.
Thanks, Vanessa, and thank you for joining us on Night Chat.
Don't forget to check us out online at nightlynews.ucf.edu. Until then, have a fabulous weekend.